truth they don't want you to see.
Imagine this, one of the busiest regions of the ocean, and at the same time one of the most mysterious places on Earth, the Bermuda Triangle. For decades, pilots and captains have reported aircraft vanishing from radar, cargo ships disappearing without a trace, and emergency signals that cut off mid-sentence and are never heard again. Tonight we dive into the real story behind the legend. How much can be explained by weather, navigation, and human error? And where do the facts end and the mystery begin? The term Bermuda Triangle doesn't appear on any official map. It's a nickname journalists gave to the stretch of the Atlantic between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. It's packed with commercial flights, cruise ships, and container vessels. Most of them pass through with no problems at all. But when you look at the record of strange disappearances, one thing becomes clear. This patch of ocean has collected more than its fair share of unanswered questions. The best-known case is Flight 19. On December 5, 1945, 5 U.S. Navy Avenger bombers took off from Florida for a routine training mission. They never came back. Radio logs say the pilots got lost. They reported that their compasses didn't agree with each other, that nothing on the horizon looked familiar, and that the ocean below them looked, in their words, strange. A rescue plane was sent out to search for them. That aircraft disappeared as well. The official explanation mentions bad weather, fuel problems, and navigation errors. For many people, Flight 19 became something else, the birth of the modern Bermuda Triangle mystery. It wasn't just aircraft. In 1918, a U.S. Navy cargo ship called the Cyclops vanished somewhere between Barbados and Baltimore, with more than 300 people on board. No distress call, no wreckage, no bodies. In 1963, the Marine Sulphur Queen, a tanker over 150 meters long, also disappeared in or near the triangle. Again, no clear cause, no confirmed debris field. Investigators point to structural problems, overloaded cargo, or sudden explosions. For families of the missing, it feels much simpler and much darker. Huge ships went out into the Atlantic and never came back. Scientists have put forward several grounded explanations. First, the weather. This part of the Atlantic can produce sudden storms, water spouts, and even hurricanes that form faster than forecasts can track them. For a ship or a low-flying plane, that can turn a normal journey into a disaster in minutes. Second, navigation. The triangle sits on busy shipping lanes and common flight routes. High traffic combined with human fatigue, instrument failures, and old equipment almost guarantees accidents. Third, the seafloor itself. The ocean here drops into deep trenches and canyons. A ship that sinks in the wrong spot can fall several kilometers straight down. At those depths, storm-broken wreckage is nearly impossible to find. There's also a popular theory about methane gas escaping from the seabed, creating bubbles that reduce the density of the water and make ships lose buoyancy and sink rapidly. Right now, there isn't enough hard data to prove that this happens often enough to explain the disappearances. But the physics behind the idea is at least plausible. And yet, there are stories that don't fit neatly into any spreadsheet. Some pilots report instruments going wild, compasses spinning, altimeters giving impossible readings, and radio contact cutting out with no clear cause. Sailors tell of sailing into a thick white haze over calm water, then finding out they've traveled much farther than they thought, as if time itself didn't match their sense of the journey. Most of these accounts are hard to verify. Memories fade, radio logs go missing, and sometimes the only record is a single handwritten note in an old logbook. But it's these human stories that give the Bermuda Triangle its mythic weight. Not just numbers on a chart, but real people who felt, for a moment, that something out there was not behaving the way it should. When official answers feel incomplete, other theories move in to fill the gap. Some people talk about portals to another dimension. Others claim that secret military technology is being tested out at sea. And of course, there are those who see the triangle as a hotspot for UFO activity. So far, none of these ideas have solid, verifiable evidence behind them, but they keep spreading because they're compelling stories. They suggest that our world is stranger and more controlled than we'd like to believe. What's interesting is that the Bermuda Triangle is not unique. Japan has its own so-called Devil's Sea, another patch of ocean linked to strange disappearances in folklore. The more we map the planet, the more it seems that humans love to draw invisible shapes on the water and fill them with mysteries. Today, dozens of planes and hundreds of ships cross the Bermuda Triangle every single day. The data suggests that, statistically, it's no more dangerous than other heavily traveled regions of the ocean. In most cases, weather, mechanical problems, and human mistakes are enough to explain what happened. And yet the legend refuses to die. Partly because we still don't have all the answers. Partly because the idea of a cursed triangle in the ocean is more exciting than a checklist of technical failures. In the end, the Bermuda Triangle reminds us of something simple. Even in the 21st century, there are still places on our own planet where mystery feels closer than certainty. Whether you see it as a dangerous myth, a misunderstood stretch of sea, or a genuine anomaly, is up to you.